Welcome to Man of Gamers episode number 54. My name is Greylock3491, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Osiris Prime.
Hello, everybody. Two-man show again this week.
That's right. Everybody else is moving, right? So
That's right. Some
we
kind
have
of
to
trouble
hold
we
on.
can get into.
That's right, yeah. So, hey, I got an idea. Let's pirate a copy of No Man's Sky and go to the center of the universe. No, it's already been done. Somebody already did that. So, you know, just another show without the crew, but we've got it covered. We're going to cover everything that we normally cover, starting with our playlist. And I had a pretty short playlist, been super busy, so played some Destiny starting last week. Went back and started going through some of the later missions, House of Wolves type of missions and Taken King missions with my low level character and a couple of friends who also started new characters at the same time. And, it's a fun game. It handles well. It controls super well. It's super fluid, and it's a fun co-op experience. And that's really, that's really it for my playlist this week. How about you?
All right, yeah, that's really light, really light for you this week. Pretty much the same as last week. Played a little bit of Black Ops 3 throughout the week. Actually, was able to play a little bit more this week than I did the previous weeks. Back to my backlog gaming of Advanced Warfare, just playing through the single-player campaign. That's pretty good. I like it. A lot better than Ghosts was. So, been playing through that. Of course, Pokemon Go. Still trying to catch them all there. And then just one more, I'll just throw in there since we're shorthanded today anyways. I jumped back into Lego Dimensions. I had bought like probably 3 or 4 figures, probably like 4 to 5 figures. These last couple weeks, they were actually, I found them at Five Below. If you don't know what that is, it's just like a $5 or below store. So they had a bunch of them there. So I've been picking up like 3 here and there, 3 here, 3 here and 3 there last couple weeks. So I think there's only like 2 or 3 more that I need to get that they have. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I was really surprised just kind of the more open world aspects of each world that you can go into. So it's really cool. I definitely, if you get a chance to play it, go ahead and pick it up. Maybe on the cheap, Black Friday maybe coming up in a little few months here, or big sale.
All right. So I had the kids up here in my man cave today. One of them was playing Lego Marvel. He loves that. That's my grandson. My granddaughter was playing on the 360 Minecraft. And so Lego Dimensions, they both love Legos. What is it it's not a Minecraft, right? It's like a Minecraft, but you need to have a base station with little toys. Explain it to me.
No, I mean it's pretty much like the other Lego games, but yeah, you do have the base station that you put the vehicles and the figures on, and you can have actually quite a lot of them. Actually, there's probably like 6 to 7, maybe even 8 altogether vehicles and figures you can have on the base at the same time. Which a lot of the other ones you can only have 2. Basically, is the most you can have on there. Even with the Disney Infinity or what's the other one? I'm blanking on the name now. I can think of the subtitle. Swap Team, Skyland. You can only have like 1 or 2 people at the same time. But then here you can just throw a bunch of characters on there and you can play them. So there's like Ninjago, there's Chima, there's Ghostbusters, there's Doctor Who worlds, there's not Marvel, DC World, Lord of the Rings. So you can go into each of these worlds as long as you have one of the characters. And the worlds are pretty big, they're pretty massive. So you can just go around and do missions or just mess around. So it's actually pretty cool. And then there's like a main story that you can follow if you wanna just go through the story of it. So, and then I guess they're not supposed to have like sequels and add on, separate games. They're just going to kind of keep adding on levels and figures and stuff. So that's kind of cool. That's a little bit different than all the other Toys of Life games that are out there right now. So, and I know they have the new Ghostbusters are supposed to be in it. I think the A-Team, Sonic, Adventure Time, which is a cartoon. I've never watched it, but I think it's on the Cartoon Network. And a few bunch more that are coming this fall and throughout the coming year and next year. So it's pretty cool. Should be pretty good. Oh, looks like somebody jumped in.
Yeah, I heard we had a lot of mic static coming from him as he was setting up, so I muted him. So let me unmute him. And welcome, SoloRacerX.
Can't hear anything if he's talking.
Yeah, I think he's muted now on his side. Well, we'll come back to Solo
How
when
about
he's
now?
ready. Oh, yeah,
There
we
we
can
go.
hear you. Great.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
Did the mic static go away?
Yes, it did.
Okay. I don't know what I don't know why I was doing it. I was trying to figure out why. I'm like, oh, it just keeps making weird noises.
You're a little blurry.
Trying to get the
Trying to autofocus.
Yeah, it's being really difficult.
Well, I'll tell you what. Keep setting it up, and we'll come back to you. We'll so be prepared when we come back to you to tell us what you've been playing this week. But while you're
Oh, there
setting
you
up,
go.
we're going to go into news stories. And Osiris, just hit us with your first news story.
All right. I got a few here. One Xbox and a couple of Nintendo news items this week. So the first one, Xbox, they had their summer update just came out. I believe this past weekend or even today. I think it was the official total release of it. And just some of the things that they released for this one is Cortana's officially released on all the Xbox UIs now, so you can use that. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit more clunky than just using the regular, Connect voice commands. I don't know if you got to use that Gray at all or Solo, if you are in the preview program at all.
I got to say something. I used to use Xbox Record That all the time, and since an update a couple of months ago, it has been horrible.
Really?
I basically have to yell at it, and I haven't changed anything here. So it was definitely an update that they did probably a couple months ago, or maybe 4 months ago. But yeah, I mean, Xbox Record That used to always work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I said it. Now I struggle with it. I really, really struggle with getting it to work right, and I feel bad for the guys I play with because they have to listen to me yelling and screaming at my Xbox. But so now, did that go away? Do I just say, "Hey Cortana, record that"?
Yeah, you bet. That's basically all you say. But it seems to be a lot slower now. Like when it actually like you say, "Hey Cortana, record that," and you'll see Cortana pop up in the top right of the screen, and then it says it's loading or not installing, but loading or doing something, and then about 5 seconds later, then it says, "Okay, I recorded that." So I'm not really sure if it actually recorded at that instant I said it, or if it took that amount of time before it actually recorded. But it just seems like it's a little slower than it was before. So.
Well, the good news is I think it captures 30 seconds by default, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I was getting nervous because I kept yelling at Xbox Sunday and it wasn't listening to me. And I'm like, I'm 10 seconds in here now. I'm gonna lose the clip. So I got to get back to the twitching things. When I reset my Xbox, I lost all my setup. But yeah, so all right, I gotta try that. It wanted me to reboot to enable it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm playing. I'm not gonna reboot right now.
Yeah, at least it asks you. Then just do it.
I actually I didn't use the preview program myself, but I have a couple of friends that have, and it seems very difficult to get anything to record with the Hey Cortana. They seem to yell at it, and they seem to actually get more frustrated with her than they did the regular version. I guess you could say you can actually switch back to the Xbox Record That once they come out with the Cortana. You'll be able to choose if you want to say "Hey Cortana" or not. See how smart it wants to be. I guess if you set Cortana though, you get more options, and it'll actually remember all the things that you do, and she'll actually kind of like Siri does with the Apple iPhone. It'll remember the things you search for on a regular basis. But I know they get very frustrated with it. They're always like, Cortana! Cortana! And I'm like, you're yelling in my ear, just like Gray just said when it came to the Xbox Record That. So I don't know. I'll see once it comes out which one I pick because I don't want to yell at my friends.
Well, now it's supposed to use the mic in your headset now. You're not supposed to have a Kinect to get it to work anymore. So I would imagine you wouldn't have to yell as loud because the mic's right in front of your face, right? So I don't know, but it's already out Solo. I don't know if you're set to auto update, but it came out yesterday.
Oh no, I haven't updated it yet. Then.
Yeah, so it's out. I just haven't tried it yet.
No, yeah, I haven't done the update myself.
Yeah, I was in the preview program, so I had it for the past month or so, and I thought maybe once it finally officially rolled out, it might be a little better, but it really hasn't. I downloaded it yesterday and was playing Call of Duty, and still just seems just as slow. I mean, it records once it goes through, like I said, with that little prompt, but I don't know, it just seems slower to me. But we'll see. If you can change it back, I think I might just do that eventually.
Yeah, they're somewhere in the settings. I watched a little video that they told you all the fun things that are coming to your Xbox, and the only one that I got excited about was the fact you can play music in the background.
Yeah.
So that made me very happy. So.
Yeah, I didn't try with the mic either. I was just using my Kinect, so maybe that might help too. That it's not as accurate.
That's probably true.
Yeah. So the next item, was the background music. You can play music in the background without having it snapped like you had to before. I think right now it's just Pandora it works with right now, and then all the other music apps, Groove Music, which is Microsoft's music app now, or music service, iHeartRadio and Spotify, and those other ones will come eventually. So that's cool. I don't really usually play music too much. Sometimes usually with Minecraft I will, just because Minecraft's music is just too tranquil for me. It puts me to sleep.
Yes, I agree with that.
So if I ever have insomnia, I can just put that on and I'll be asleep in no time. Let's see. Other than that, just some overall UI improvements. They moved the game and apps. A little section was actually with the list of games before. Now it's actually right on top, off to the right. So you can just kind of flip over to the right and get to it right away. And so that's kind of nice. There's Facebook integration, so you can link your Facebook and your gamer tag together. So see all your friends on there. And some improved sharing just when you're doing your screenshots and videos. Now, I don't know if that's... They don't really go into detail in the article here that I'm looking at, but I don't know if they meant like it's easier as far as like you can hit an extra button, or you don't have to hit an extra button, or if just the process is easier. But once again, I was using the Upload Studio last night, and I don't know, it just seemed actually even slower just to get to your clips, because they actually save them online, which I don't know why they don't save it locally. Or at least it says it saves it online. So it's just kind of annoying. It's just kind of slow when I got a lot of clips I want to kind of edit together. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I just got to reboot my Xbox, see what happens. As far as the Xbox itself, that was it. And then the app itself and the Windows 10 got some improvements or some additions. You can do 60 frames per second clip recording now on the Windows 10. New game hubs for Windows 10, PC, and improved game bar full screen support, I guess, for some of the apps on there. And then just some general iOS and Android app updates too that they've done pretty much. So that's it. Nothing too spectacular, I guess. I don't know. The biggest one, I guess, takeaway for me would probably be the Cortana one. Just unfortunately, it's a negative, just because it doesn't seem to work as well as the old way was. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Any thoughts on that? Any other thoughts, I should say? Are you guys gonna link your Facebook account to it, or that doesn't really matter because you probably already have your friends on there, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Go ahead, Gray.
I was just gonna say I got a separate Facebook just to match my gamer tag, so I'll probably link it. Most of my family aren't gamers, so I just created a separate Facebook for gaming. Having said that, I would hopefully this new Cortana interface works well, because I'd love to see people who don't have the voice commands like Xbox record that, Xbox open that. That's a big one. Like you get an invite, you just say Xbox open that, boom, and it's great because especially if you're in a game and somebody's inviting you to that game, it's pretty huge. I'd still like to see something like the Blades come back, because getting in and out of parties, I just find the whole menu, everything is so laggy and slow. If they said the Xbox S, like the menus were like super fast, I would get an Xbox S. I would borrow the money to go get one, just because I just find all the menus laggy and slow. And the party system on the 360 was just so much easier because you could get it with the Blades, the pop-up, the pop-up menu. So those are my thoughts.
I pretty much agree with everything you said. I really do. I've noticed as the Xbox One has gotten into the progression of its age, it's gotten slower and slower the more they've added to it, and it's kind of gotten more frustrating to do anything. And it's actually there's times where I'm like I don't even want to join the party because it's taking so long to even get the thing to snap open, and for me to even say accept it. And then when I talk to it, it doesn't hear me, and now your you were saying that even Cortana doesn't want to listen. So it's just become more and more frustrating. I don't know. Like Gray said, if the S is going to have some leaps and bounds of better processing and maybe it's a little faster, I will probably trade my one in and then do the same thing. I'll use my GameStop credit card and swap it out. But if it's not going to be any faster, I'll just stick with the what I've got. I'm not gonna frustrate myself more. I play it enough as it is. I don't think I want to put myself in that position more often. So, but no, my thoughts are pretty much the same as Gray's. I agree with him. So.
Do you think the kind of that worst progression is because of the way they had to kind of switch gears on originally how they were gonna have the Xbox come out, online, everything and all that, or do you think it's just a misstep this time around on this console for some reason? Because like on the 360, I mean, it gradually got better and better and better in each UI improvement, each UI iteration. But this one, like you said, Solo, it's just like it seems to get worse and just slower and just kind of more crappier. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but
put it so finely. Yes, that's very eloquent. I agree. I kind of feel like the 360 got better over time, and when you had the red rings at the beginning and they slowly tapered off, the system got better. The system had better games, had better options, and things like that. And then the one kind of feels the opposite. Feels like they started with a really strong system, but like I do agree. I say that they came in, they said we're going to do this, and then E3 happened, and they were like, well. Maybe we shouldn't, and then they tried to backtrack, and when they backtracked, they just blew their entire scheme of the way they were going to do things, and now it seems almost frustrating because they're trying to come back from where they should have been, and I think they're still trying to implement things that they were going to do originally, but in a new form, and I think it's actually making things worse. That if I'm going in the right direction on that one.
Yeah.
So. No, maybe we should get a Nintendo. DBQ Hams would be happy.
He'd love all of us. Well, I mean, I have Nintendo too, but
I do too. But that's one company I really hope bounces back soon because I mean, who didn't grow up with a Nintendo?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I got a story that may or may not make you happy here coming up. But yeah, okay. But like you're saying that they're still trying to catch up just to the old UI. Like obviously they just put back in background music, and that was I don't know how long on the 360. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Can that background music play my own music? Like, can I rip my own MP3 to the box like I could do on the original Xbox?
Oh, yeah, you had it.
Can I please just rip my own music or stream it from my my UPnP device and just play my own music? Because I don't want to fire up Pandora and have something else bogging down my network.
Yeah. And you could even do that on the 360, couldn't you? Rip music?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I think so. Like I said, I didn't do it a lot, but I thought you could.
I'll have to try it out, because when you said it was Pandora only, I'm like, really?
That's what it said so far.
What's the point? I mean, come on. I'll just go back to the big black box. It had all these features.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that I think they might have misstepped in order to get something new and exciting, and they decided to go in a different direction at first, when I think that all of the new updates that they're coming out with are things that they probably wanted in the beginning and had to hold off. It's just the impression that I get.
Yeah, so. I think some of the stuff they did, like they record that feature where you can capture 30 seconds, your last 30 seconds. That's huge. I mean, that's a great, awesome feature. But background music, that should be super simple. I mean, really.
I mean, yeah.
To run an application in the background to play the music, that's. I mean, if Microsoft can't figure out how to do that, it's silly. It's just silly. But I think overall, I'm a huge Xbox One fan. Overall, I really would like to see the UI go fast. In Windows, you have the option for like a basic GUI that's really, really fast. You don't get the wallpapers that are changing, every 10 minutes and all the fancy, I would love that. I would love to go a basic interface. Don't update the store and don't update all these tiles with the store, and don't feel like you have to update any friends I haven't played with, in the last month. Don't update the status like every 2 seconds. Give me this high-powered, really fast GUI. So I feel like I'm in the 21st century. I feel like I'm playing on the third generation Xbox, and Windows 10 based operating system, and make it fast. And like I said, if the Xbox One S has like a super snappy menu, I'd pick one up. That is one of the things. Getting in, like you said, Solo, getting in and out of the party, it's painful. It's like you click on something and you're waiting for a couple seconds. I mean, Windows 3.1 was faster. I mean, honest to God, really. I mean, double clicking on the program manager and pulling up your little program groups. But anyways, what's your next story there, Prime?
All right, so my next story here is good old Pokemon Go here. Just a story I saw this afternoon when I was looking at stuff. But basically, the company Niantic, I think is how you.
It's close. Take it.
That's fine. They're just talking about how they're, well, at least in Japan, they haven't said anything about here in the U.S. or any other places, but they actually have sponsorships coming in from McDonald's, of all places. So they have over 3,000 stores or restaurants in Japan, McDonald's restaurants, that they partner with, and it kind of helps them not have to do the microtransactions as much, not kind of rely on that side of the business. So I just thought it was interesting because basically the McDonald's, they become the gyms from the game. I don't know if you guys have played. I know, Gray, you haven't really played it all that much. Solo, I don't know if you've played the Pokemon Go at all, but basically there's gyms out there that different places that they pick. But here, this is just the restaurants are becoming the gyms. So they're getting help from McDonald's, at least on that side. And then also they're talking about how they'll introduce new Pokemon in the future. They didn't really say when, but there's 150 right now that people are looking for. But basically there'll be special events either around like the gyms or just things that pop up. Even like they're even talking about how obviously people are grouping together on their own and going out and looking for stuff, and maybe they'll kind of piggyback onto that stuff when they see like a large crowd or something. But they'll just start releasing new Pokemon will pop up on your game all of a sudden. So I thought that was kind of cool. They're not just gonna dump it out there and have another 150 or 200 Pokemon you got to find. They'll try to integrate it maybe a little bit better than they're doing it now. So that was pretty much it for that article. I don't know if you guys, like I say, Gray, I think you've at least watched your wife play it a little bit. I don't know if she's still playing it.
She pulls it up every once in a while. She'll say things, and it's like, you're not a gamer. Those words aren't supposed to come out of your mouth. She's like, what did she say? She's like, oh yeah, they can spawn sometime. And I'm like, you're not even supposed to know what that means.
That's fantastic.
But I think it's so smart for McDonald's to say, hey, we want our locations to be gyms. That way, if anybody could just go to McDonald's if they wanted to find a gym. I mean, how easy is that? And then they're sitting there smelling all that food. There's a chance they're going to buy something. I just think it's so clever.
Mm-hmm. At least the parking lots will be full, if anything. People just sitting outside and stealing the Wi-Fi.
I personally have only played the game probably an entirety of about 25 minutes, and I would say that's an encompassment of like 3 attempts to play it. I can see the draw, and I understand why people want to do it. For me, I have lots of other things that I would rather do than follow my phone around. I agree. There's many other games I could pick from too. Not only that, but I guess if I were an avid adventurer, I went out a lot more. I don't get out. I mean, when I do get outside. I do have a tan, but when I do get out, I have things to do or I have places to go. I'm not really considering if I'm going to catch a Pokemon. Huh? But overall, I mean, there's a park in the town right next door to mine, and apparently it's like a hotspot for Pokemon. So there's actually like people like in the droves will show up in the middle of the day, and they'll just be wandering around at their lunch hour, and there'll be 30, 40 people wandering around this park in like one general area, and people have taken video of it, and they look like zombies. They really do, holding phones. It's insane. But I get the draw, and I think it's a great idea. I was listening to the previous podcast, and I think that other companies will jump on the bandwagon in time, and I think there will be a way to expand it to where people actually could, interact a little more with each other, and that's when I think the games will really take off. I think when people can really actually kind of like virtual reality interact with each other, maybe even like live battles or something like that within the space they're in, or at the gyms or McDonald's, if you will, they could battle each other. That is when I think it's really going to take off, because then you're really going to get interaction between people. But for me right now, I have other places to walk around to, but that's just me. So, but I do like the concept. It's a fantastic idea. I wish I came up with it.
I'm sure a lot of people are saying that right now.
Right. So,
yeah, I think the next big thing is supposed to be trading. You're going to be able to trade Pokemon at some point in the future, near future. Yeah, so yeah, they never really said anything about like one-on-one battles other than the gyms, and even that's not like real time. That's kind of Pokemon's there, and then you just battle that person's ghost basically. So I'm sure they'll add that eventually. Once the game starts to die down a little bit. Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to see two people jumping around in like the local mall, trying to throw their. I'm not. I know Pikachu and I know Squirtle and a couple other names because of my daughter, and I can only imagine what it would look like, the two grown people hopping around. But it would be fun to watch. I think then lots of YouTube and free promotion at that point. Guy falls in a lake. All right, so I'll go. Anyway, so yep. Okay, I'm done.
All right, that's it for that one. And then my last report, like I kind of mentioned before about Nintendo here, there was a rumor last week, and I got this article from IGN, and they got it from Eurogamer. A little bit of rumor about the NX, the next system that's coming out. So supposedly what they heard was that it's going to be a handheld game or a handheld console that you'll be able to just dock. There'll be like a little docking station you can just pop into there, and it'll go to your TV at that point. So everything is in the handheld itself, though. So they're saying that it's probably on par with like the 360 and PS3, but not as powerful, not even as powerful as the PS4 and the Xbox One. Well, actually, they just mentioned the PS4. They didn't say anything about the Xbox One, but I know the Xbox One's not too far off from the PS4, so it's probably comparable. So there'd be nothing in the base station, the docking station. That's just for the external, connection to the TV. That's it. There's no other processor, which I guess was a rumor like months ago that it might have an extra processor in there, so it could, jump up the graphics once you dock it. But and then on either side of the handheld, there'll be two controllers that you can either pop, attach or detach, depending on if you're on the go, you just want to take them off and play it as a handheld. And then it supposedly has a NVIDIA Tegra X1 mobile processor. That's what they're saying it has, but there's other rumors, less reliable sources, I guess they're saying, they didn't say who, but that it's going to have a Tegra X2 processor, which I guess is like leaps and bounds more powerful. But obviously these are just both rumors, and no one knows for sure. But yeah, so I don't know. And once again, one of the other rumors that popped out of this is that it's going to be cartridge-based again. It's not going to be CD or DVD or Blu-ray or anything like that, which I guess makes sense if it's a handheld. So you want to, plop a little cartridge in there instead of a CD or something, or like Sony did and had those little UMDs. So it's just, I don't know. What do you guys think about this supposed rumor? I guess it's a reliable source, though, it's coming from Eurogamer. Any thoughts?
I guess I'll start. The only way that I would say that's going to be really successful is if there's going to be a really well honed in way to play remotely. So like if you can get a bunch of friends together, kind of like a landline but wirelessly, because I really don't see, it's basically just going to be a upgraded DS at that point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know, that's a little disappointing. I was hoping for a new console, maybe something with a little power, maybe something where I could play a little bit of like like Super Mario, like 64, like we had the 3D worlds and stuff like that, and see what they could push with it. But I don't know. That's a little disappointing to hear. Not saying that I don't enjoy playing the DS. I do play it every once in a while, and there are some really good games. Of course, I always go back to Zelda. Anything with Link is always fun for me, always adventurous. But I don't know. I was kind of hoping they would, if that's really a reliable source and that's where they're going to go with it, I don't know if I'm going to invest my money in that direction. I'll keep my eye on what the Sony and Microsoft do, if that's the case. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like, somebody came out with the Pokemon Go thing. Maybe they can bounce off of that and do something mobile, if you will, with their new Nintendo. So that I don't know. A little disappointing, but okay. Gray, do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm trying to figure out what they're thinking. If they're going this way, and if it's first of all, I think it'll be a mistake if it's only as powerful as a 360. That's like 10-year-old technology, and I think there's several handheld gaming devices that are more powerful than the 360 on the market. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It'd be cool if it did use the Tegra 2 because that's supposed to be much more powerful. So if it's even close to a PS4, then if they can come out with something that's close to a PS4 in power, I think that's great, and it's mobile, then that's awesome, right? But I'm trying to figure out where they're going. I know in Japan everything is going mobile,
Yeah.
right? And what are the advantages of a custom mobile gaming platform versus just a generic tablet or phablet? I don't know. I don't. I guess I'm not a big mobile gamer. I have a tablet. I play games on my tablet. But I'm, and I'm sure there's a huge advantage to having something tablet size, or even big phone size, with great controls. But I don't. In this country, I don't think that's where most of the market is. Quite honestly, I don't think. I don't know. I don't see where it's going to have market share here. Maybe they can do something cool like they did with the Wii, and where it's unique and different and cool, and everybody's going to want to have it. But yeah, I'm not seeing where this is going to be a blockbuster product in the U.S. I mean, it could be. I'm just from the description, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. And another thing they were talking about too, that there's no backwards compatibility with the Wii U or the Wii, which kind of stinks too. But oh well, I guess that's what they want to do. They're trying to be different, I guess. Which I don't know. I always thought that's kind of good, but I don't know. The handheld kind of seems to be dying in the U.S. A little bit. The 3DS is selling well, but it's not selling gangbusters like the old DS and used to. So I don't know. Maybe they see something different. Who knows? So hopefully they can turn it around though and have a little bit of success at least with the new handheld. And looks like the other thing was that they're going to reveal this sometime in September, which is when the Tokyo Game Show Expo. So, which I guess makes sense. Which I kind of figured they might reveal everything at that point, and then supposedly in March of next year is when it's supposed to launch. So, we'll see. And that's all I had for this week.
So before I go into my news stories, welcome Solo to the show. Thank you for joining us. What have you been playing, man? What have you been playing the last week or two?
Oh dear. Well, the last week or so, I've been playing Forza, which is odd for me, but Forza 6 is always a staple in my library. I always pick it up. I obviously am playing it more often because we have Sunday night race nights, so tuning and prepping for the following Sunday is always important. So Forza is a big one. I've also been playing GTA, which I know I don't think anyone else plays on the podcast too often. I don't hear it very often, but I know it came up a week or so ago about people wanting to pick it up. I have been playing that because they came out with the new stunts update, which is basically just you're driving cars all over in the air and flips and turns and jumps and explosions, and it's very exciting. It's actually quite fun. Tomorrow they're coming out with an update where you can design your own tracks. So I'm actually very
Nice.
happy about that because it's kind of like a GTA Forge, if you will,
Oh yeah.
in the creator mode. So I'm very excited. But I've been playing that a lot just because of the new update. I kind of get bogged down with that game in the sense that it's just a lot of running around and running into people and shooting each other and listening to swear words. So if you can wait and actually get into the gameplay of it online, it can be fun. So it was nice that they kind of gave a new, they livened it up a bit with something that was a little more fun instead of just, if you will, drug dealing and smuggling and stealing things. I've been playing that a lot. I play DC Universe Online. I've been playing that because now the servers are finally not packed, and I can actually get on. And I am a huge comic book fan, and my favorite character is Wonder Woman, and this is the 75th year anniversary. And they have a whole bunch of updates that came with Wonder Woman, and my character looks almost like Wonder Woman. So I play with her, and I actually been playing that. I leveled up like 3 or 4 levels in the last week, so I was very excited, and I'm getting to level 20, almost 21 now, and I've been enjoying that. It's actually a lot of fun. The higher levels you get, it's actually a lot more difficult. It's quite a grind without a partner. So I'm getting to the point now where it's almost like I kind of wish I could have a second person, but I'm dealing with it, and it's fun. I like the fact that I can do what I do with it, so it's good. So DC Universe, and I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, more Rockstar games, because they just came out with $7.50 a couple weeks ago on the sale, and really, if you look at it, it is still a beautiful game. It looks amazing for being 360 graphics. They did not render it any higher for the 360 version onto the One. So it's still the original looking frame rate and everything, and it actually is a very pretty game. And I like the storyline, cowboys and all of that. Kind of get away from the GTA with the cars and all that, and you actually ride a horse and a stagecoach, and you've got to kind of go across the plains and coyotes, and I don't know. I just enjoy that game. So those are the ones I've been playing mostly. 2 Rockstar games. I'm giving them all my money. So, but other than that, DC Universe and Forza, of course. So, and I'm waiting for Forza Horizon. That's my anticipated game. But yes, Gray's very excited about that. For Forza Horizon 3 looks amazing. So yeah, that's what I've been playing, and I've been enjoying them thoroughly. If I can just plug Car Club any more often with Forza, I will, because that's what I do. And so anyway, there you go. I don't know where else to go with that. So.
Well, I know where we can go with that.
Your news.
Yeah, well, we Prime and I were going to pick our best pick of the Fab Five.
Oh.
But there is no.
There's none. There's not a new one.
There's no SoloRacerX.
That's right. Yes, I was on vacation. I was away in the Carolinas last weekend. So I was enjoying some time with the family up there, and we just did a bye week, so we don't have any. So I kind of combined last week and this week's videos, and I actually am currently about halfway into uploading the top 5 right now to YouTube. So once we're done with this, next week you can watch the last 2 weeks top 5 put together into one, and tell me which one you like. So
we're definitely going to do that, right, Prime?
Oh yeah, I finally watched the end of that last one. That was pretty funny, like the little extra that they had at the end.
Oh, good! You finally watched it. Yes.
I started doing that because there's always 5, and there's always like something else that happened in some other game that I was playing, especially in GTA with the stunts and tricks and stuff. And it's one of those things where it's almost like I feel like I really want to stick something in and see who actually waits till the end of the credits. Who waits and watches the whole thing? Because there's 20 more seconds after that. No, I'm going to turn it off now because the credits must be on. Yeah, I'm looking at you. So, but no, I've been throwing those in there just for fun. And somebody flips this week too, by the way.
Somebody flips. Yes. Every week.
Every week. It seems to be our thing. Someone's got to roll over. I don't know what it is. Someone's always got to flip over. That just shows how amazing we are.
It shows how much fun you guys are having. It just, when I watch those, I'm like, looks like a total blast.
Yeah. Well, we try to have fun. I mean, it's always the same group. There's always a group of between 6 to 8 of us, give or take the week and who's there. But it's always fun. We always have a good time. The car, try not to make the cars too challenging to drive. That way, we can all be somewhat competitive. But we have a very wide range of skill sets. So we have like 2 or 3 people that are always near the front, and 2 in the middle, and a couple in the back, and they're always having some kind of their own little version of a race going on. So it's nice. If we can get through the first corner, one of these days we're going to get through the first corner without somebody spinning, and that is when I'm going to put it on number 1, because it's just going to be the most boring number 1 ever, because it's going to say, finally we did it. So, but no, I have a great group of people that come race with us, and we have a great time. So, and it's really all I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I have to thank Gray and CAG, because that's where I've met all of these people over the time, and that's how we've put it together over the years. And we were actually talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and most of us, I think 4 or 5 of us, have actually been racing together since Forza 3.
Wow.
So we've known each other quite some time. So it's really nice to have a group of friends that can hang out, do it, and still, after all these years, we've been doing the ABC thing since Forza 4, and that's, gosh, God, I'm old. Anyway, yeah, I just realized that we've been doing it a long time, and it's nice to get some new people. Kind of hope we can get some traction on a couple new people, but one day it's coming down the pike. We'll see what happens. But I have a great time.
Something about those sports games. We have a very avid all-pro football group. Really into simulation football, and they have been playing since 2009. I think TJ said, and they're still going. It's 2016. They started in 2009. They have a group on CAG that's constantly, they're doing a championship, I think, every 16 weeks. So anybody who's into simulation football, all pro football, check it out. You can get there directly by going to cagnfl.com, and that'll take you to their part of the Gaming World Forums forum. But a very avid group. They got I work with TJ over there to get people awards and take awards off when they're needed. There's some things he can't do without getting into the back end that I have to do, and just a great group of guys who just love simulation football. So if you're not into racing, but you're into simulation football, check that out over at cagnfl.com, and just draw a little pitch out for those guys, because they've been going on probably as long as you guys have been racing. They've been playing the simulation football. And with that, I had a couple of news stories I wanted to talk about. First of all, I kind of already talked about the first one. Did you guys see that news story about the guy who spent this is all hearsay, by the way, and reported by the major gaming outlets, but gaming news outlets, but somebody apparently spent $1,000 to buy a pirated copy, or I don't want to say pirated, an early release copy of the game. They somehow got their hands on a release copy of the game early, and they've made it all the way to the center of the galaxy, and they're not saying what's there. Of course, we all know it's a Dyson sphere, right? But all right, that's my guess. I did not read that anywhere, but
that was for No Man's Sky you're talking about, right?
Yeah, No Man's Sky. What did I?
Because I don't think Solo was here yet when you mentioned that.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He wasn't. So I thought that was interesting that somebody, there's a lot of rich people out there. I wish some of them would sponsor our show. Just contact me. Just send me an email over here at podcast@banditgamers.net. But they go and spend $1,000 on a game, so I think that's weird, because I think they get to the center of the galaxy within a day or 30 hours.
Wow.
And I didn't think that was supposed to be possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had any cheat codes or how they did that.
It's weird. Isn't there like some ungodly amount of like stars or planets or something they had said? I don't even remember the number was.
They said it. I mean, yeah, we kind of joked about this last week too. Is it's supposed to be, or 2 weeks ago? It's just supposed to be It's supposed to be very similar to our galaxy. So it's just super huge, and it will take you a very, very long time and lots of upgrades to get to the center of the galaxy. They said you would really, if that's all you plan on doing, you're not going to be able to do it in a day. So, my understanding was it'd probably take somebody a month or two if they were
Yeah.
really determined and they went out and got all the upgrades, got all the resources they had to get. But the other news story I had was, and I think the original story you had brought up, Prime, but I could be wrong, about the galaxy in turmoil. Apparently, there was no turmoil at LucasArts and EA because they said you can't do that. So, did you see that story, Prime?
No, I didn't. I think it was DB maybe that had mentioned that. Yeah. But I didn't know.
So
I haven't seen the latest on this.
Yeah, they put the kibosh on it. They said, look, if you give away a game for free, why would people buy ours?
Mm-hmm.
So, not going to happen.
I kind of foresaw that coming. It was one of those things like I was just waiting for them to step in and be like, no, and we're going to put our foot down at this point. You're getting a little too far into your process. I think we're going to stop you now. But it was interesting to see that somebody attempted such a thing. But I knew right when they said what they were doing. I'm like, they're going to let them get to a point, and they're going to be like, no, we're going to call that quits now. It's kind of like someone trying to build a Ferrari out of Ferrari parts without telling Ferrari, and then Ferrari being like, oh, yeah, we're just going to take that back from you now.
They probably thought they'd just get bored and stop, but I guess not.
Yeah, I know. They did get really far. I don't know how many. I don't know what you read, but they got almost to a beta. They were getting really close, or an alpha at least. They were getting pretty close. It was a playable game. It was there, and I think that's the reason why you probably caught that piece of news is probably because they realized, nope.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it at the time. I says I don't see this going forward. I mean, it just, so just turn the Y-wing into a V-wing, turn the X-wing into a W-wing, and release it. Give the walker 6 legs instead of 4, and change all the names. Solo Han and
Solo Han.
Yeah, just reverse. Just mix everything up, Sky Luke Walker.
Give them X-Men names too. Like,
but yeah, so that was the other thing I caught. I didn't catch anything else. Solo, anything you read in the gaming news this week that caught your eye?
The only thing that I follow really, and I know this is bad to say, is I keep up with everything that's coming when it comes to the car universe. So I am actually the 3 games that I keep a very close eye on is Forza Horizon ever since they actually came out with the release. They actually just came out with a car list, which I'll get to that in just a minute. But so being on Project Cars 2, I don't know if anybody ever played that or looked into it. Project Cars was a community-based build, and the Slightly Mad Studios put it together mostly on the PC, and it was all built from the ground up with community input. So whenever they would do something, they would send out a new version, and these people would play it, and the more money you put in, the better a version of the game you would receive to test. And the game can slowly grow in that sense until they came out with a PC version. Well, they released it on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's a very sim-style racing game. It takes a huge learning curve, especially with the controller. The game is basically made for force feedback, high-end wheels. But you can play with the controller if you really want to put the time in. I did. It's fun. It's a great game. They're coming out with a second one, and they're adding more cars, more tracks, and they have a huge amount of tracks in this game. I want to say they're in like the range of 30-odd tracks with different variations of each version of the track. So there's like 100 and something variations of racetracks in Project Cars. And the second one's going to have more, and rally cross and rally racing. So I've been keeping a close eye on that one. Very high-end stuff. I'm looking forward to it. They said they were going to come out with it this fall, but right now it looks like it's not going to be till next year because there's a lot of development involved. So I follow racing. And then Gran Turismo Sport. I want to see if they ever release it because it's Gran Turismo, and we all know Gran Turismo and Polyphony Digital. They really enjoy bait and switching you for a good millennia or so. So I'm waiting to see if that actually comes out. If it does, that'll probably be one of the few games I have for my PS4 that I actually enjoy playing. But Forza Horizon 3 is right around the corner, and they just released their second list of cars, which is almost as long as the Forza 6 list, and they have added a ton of awesome off-road cars. Actually, I'm going to read some. They have released a group of cars basically just for off-road, and they brought in a lot of Australian vehicles. So like Holden has a big staple in it for the first time. Seeing as how the game is based in Australia, it kind of makes sense. I'm really excited about that. I'm also really excited about the fact that they're going to bring trophy trucks and Baja vehicles. So you'll be able to drive large off-road vehicles, all-wheel drive, and things that I always said I wish kind of like Forza Horizon 1 and 2 would have had. So they finally added that. And they're doing a really nice job. I'm really excited. I kind of hope that they stick to their to their roots, if you will, and give it more. Because Forza Horizon 2 kind of felt very linear. You kind of got stuck racing, and kind of what you didn't want to do. And if that makes if that makes sense, they kind of forced you into tracks and races that you were like, I've done like eight or nine of these races. I kind of wish I could do something on the street. You're always making me drive off-road because the concept was, well, these off-road races and you can drive your car anywhere. Yeah, but, my car does drive on the street too, so it'd be kind of nice if I could do that also. So I'm kind of hoping that they keep off-road cars off-road and they get some more street cars on the street. Because as much as I enjoy driving my Aventador and my Koenigsegg off-road, the car is made for the road, and I'm kind of hoping they kind of stick to the roots of the car. So it might kind of give you a whole reason to drive the car in that specific place. But I do keep an eye on that. Turn 10 does a very good job of updating their website on a regular basis with all of the new things that are coming. I would say they're one of the few developers, in my opinion, that keep up with their community in a way that I kind of a little disappointed in a lot of developers for the amount. If you just keep up with Turn 10, everybody would know everything they want to know. So, but those are my news things. My news things are to follow those different games, and that's pretty much all I stare at. I actually got in trouble at work a couple of weeks ago because I was looking at the car list, or a couple of days ago, the car list. I was reading through them, and I was like, oh, yes, nice. My boss is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing.
I'm working.
I'm really excited about work.
That's right.
But no, I can't think of any other things news-wise that I really pay attention much to when it comes to gaming. I just get excited when I see game trailers.
I heard Bizarre Creations. Did anybody else hear this? I hear they're making another game. Did you guys hear that?
Hmm.
Ooh, I'm gonna look for that now.
I think I know what you're talking about. As a matter of fact.
What was the game they made? The racing game they made?
Sorry, I'm searching.
It's all right. So Solo, let me ask you a question while Grace searching there. As far as Forza, do you prefer the normal just Forza series or the Horizon series better? Or are they kind of just different enough that they kind of like equal each other?
Personally, I'm more of a circuit racer kind of person. So I like sanctioned style racing. So I like to stick to either that or I like Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally is a good game that I bought a couple months ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's a rally game, and that's what I want to play, a rally game. So I'm going to buy a rally game. It's one of those. If Forza Horizon should be it should be an all over thing. I kind of wish there were circuit races in Forza Horizon, but if you did, it kind of would take away from the whole aspect of racing in Forza 6. I kind of personally would gravitate towards Forza Motorsport 6 because I like to race on real-world tracks, the places that I wish I could really actually get in a car and go really fast around. I can go jump a car in Grand Theft Auto off of a mountain just as much as I can in Forza Horizon. But there's very few good sim racing games that actually are based in real world tracks. When it comes to a console, anyway, you want to bust out a really nice PC and you can play, you know, R racing and stuff like that. Those games are really detailed stuff. But no, personally, I'm a sanctioned enclosed circuit racer if I can. The more tracks you give me, the happier I am. So, like the Crew. The Crew is a good example of a game that I think has a huge misstep when it came to an option.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that one. Yeah.
The Crew was actually, to me, as much as their concept was really good, I feel like they tried to make it too much of an all-arounder, and they should have just made it like Forza Horizon. They should have made it like a MMO Forza Horizon, where anyone can race anywhere and do whatever they want to, but they wanted to add all these bizarre, turn a Nissan 350Z into a four-wheel drive monster truck. It's just kind of, you lost me. Like, you lost me at hello. So it was, I played it, I downloaded it, it was free a couple of months ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't spend any money on this game. So it was disappointing in the least. Need for Speed was probably the only, the different Need for Speed games that came out some years ago, not the newer ones, the older ones, the Undergrounds and stuff like that back, oh gosh, it's years ago. Those were probably the best street racing games I would say that I've ever really played, up until Horizon came out, of course. But no, I'm preferable to the sanctioned racetracks, if you will. There's a little more involved.
Did you ever get into the Burnout series?
I did. See, now that was a home run in my opinion, because they didn't take themselves seriously.
Right.
They knew they were making a game that was completely pointless, and all you're going to do is drive your car ridiculously all over the place and jump places. Kind of like, in my opinion, like Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, you know they're not taking any of that seriously.
Right.
So you know when you get into it, if you blow your car up and you flip it over, it's not that serious. Where like it kind of felt like the Crew attempted to, but then they were like, I changed my mind. We're going to have a little fun with it. And it was like you kind of stuck in the middle, and then you threw racetracks, because you can drive to racetracks in the Crew.
Right.
And they tried to, you know, make racetracks, and it's like these cars are not, they don't handle properly to put them on a racetrack. They should have just stuck with the streets. And at least I could say if Forza decided to put a racetrack in Horizon, they could, because their model is pretty much right on with the cars that they use in the game.
Okay.
So the handling model is, it's a little more arcadey, but it's really close. So at least you know that if they were to do it, you would get the feel for it. But no, I don't know. Just want to. I'm gonna stick to what I like. It's a personal thing.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. Most people, if you don't like the sim racing series and stuff like that, you gravitate towards like the Crew and Blur and Burnout and stuff like that. And I completely appreciate those kinds of games, because you can get that sense of speed, and that you can get that open world, I want to drive a car real fast kind of feel, and you can get all of those same kinds of excitements that I do, but you know, in that kind of genre, you know, EA Sports with Need for Speed and stuff like that. And I like those games too. Don't get me wrong; they're fun. But for me, if somebody were to say, do you want to play Burnout, or do you want to play Forza, or do you want to play Gran Turismo? I'm going to be like, I would rather play Gran Turismo, because I feel like it challenges me, not only as a person but as a gamer. It kind of pushes that limit. Kind of like people want to play, they want to just level up their character in RPG to the point where they're at the cap, and they're at the most difficult they can get. You know, they want to keep pushing themselves, and I think that's what I look for in a sim racing game. Now, if I want to play an arcade game and I'll blow my car up, I'll do that too. Don't get me wrong. I'll play some nonsense like, the Crew doesn't really blow the cars up nearly as fun as some other games. Burnout, I wish they'd come out with another Burnout. That was a good game.
That's what I'm here to tell you. It wasn't Bizarre Creations. I'm personally, I'm a huge Burnout Paradise fan, especially the co-op pieces of Burnout Paradise. There's just so many great things to say about Burnout Paradise. And it wasn't Bizarre Creations, it was Criterion Games.
Uh-huh.
So the founders of Criterion Games, um, they started a new studio, and their next game, it looks like it's called Three Fields. Three Fields Entertainment. They just created a game called Dangerous Golf, which it says here the reviews weren't that good. But their next game, these are the guys. Again, these are the guys who created Burnout. They said the next game is going to be a Burnout-inspired game. EA still owns the Burnout name and series, but I think that'd be cool. And I think if they could do what they did in Burnout Paradise and take it to the next level, it would be awesome.
I agree. What was nice about Burnout is that there were tiers of cars, and they actually gave you, you could actually play in slower, medium, fast Indy cars. They didn't handle like real life cars and things, but you could actually tell a difference. You could feel the difference in the different vehicles, and that's where you get back to that, the detail, where you kind of feel like you're progressing towards something. I can drive this car really well, but I'm going to go ahead and get this really fast supercar and see if I can do the same track and hit the same marks. You can push yourself, and that's what Burnout did. They had a good progression system. They had a good leveling system. They had a good car, a whole bunch of great cars, and you could jump off of things and fly way up in the air. It was awesome. But then, I don't know. I was a little disappointed that the game didn't get remade sooner, because I thought it was a really well-selling game, and they had a really great expansion pack when they came out with the island,
Yep.
or whatever it was. It was fun, and I don't know. It's surprising that EA didn't try to jump on that a little sooner.
It was fun on so many levels. I mean, just the fact that you could own a street. So if you had the fastest time of any of your friends on a street, you owned it. And all your friends, when they drove down that street, they would see the street's owned by SoloRacerX because he has the fastest time. And you could go and sit there for half an hour and try to beat his time, and then you would own it, and then all your friends who had the game would hear that now so-and-so owns that street. And it was a great way to do it. And it was just great being able to drive. You could drive the interstate all the way around this massive map. And it really channels like many of the Burnouts channel Rush, 2098 or whatever it was, 2048. But it really channels that old game where there's all these shortcuts and ramps and jumps, and then just driving around and taking out billboards and finding all the blocked off areas that you're not supposed to go into, and the outrageous power-ups and whatnot. I mean, just a total blast. A lot of fun. The co-op was awesome. If you had two people playing, a third person played. Now you had three people co-op challenges. A fourth person plays. Now you have four-person co-op challenges. It was just like people could come in and drop out, and you still had a dozen or so things you could do together, or actually more, to try. And you could say, all right, everybody just meet over there on the other side, meet at the observatory, and everybody would have to try to find their way there. And and then playing tag and playing, those types of games was a blast as well. A lot of fun.
I actually remember. It was one of the. I don't know. It's just something. There's just one road in that game, and it was super tiny. It was like one of the shortest roads in the entire map, and everybody wanted the fastest time on that. And I remember there'd be like 8 people in the lobby, and we'd all be parked and going, "Is he making a speed run? Yeah, okay, let's move out of his way." And then they would shoot, and they would fly through, like, "Nope, he didn't beat it. Okay, it's my turn. I'm gonna try now." And then he goes zooming through it, and then finally someone would beat it, and there'd be like this huge eruption of people, like. And I agree. You didn't have to race in that game to have fun.
No.
And that's what I think when it comes to an open world game, a sandbox style game, that's what makes a good car game when it comes to a sandbox game. And that's what I kind of hope Horizon 3 will be, because 2 was not quite like that, but 1 was. 1, you could just get together and drive around and have a good time. And you could set, speed trap times and then try to beat your friends and stuff. And 2 didn't have the same feel. So I'm hoping that 3 will have a drop-in, drop-out that is exciting and actually kind of pushes you with like a whole rivals thing, because that's really where when you're trying to beat your friends, that's where the fun begins. I mean, where's a little little nonsensical talking back and forth with each other, if you will, to get morale going, to get people pushed to really want to play the game more. Like I can do this, I can beat you. You're talking a lot, but watch what I can do. So it's fun. I don't know. I hope they actually do develop that and build it, and I hope it comes out, because I will definitely be one first in line to buy it.
Yeah, I think having that co-op team type of challenge it makes the game a lot more fun. I mean, even PGR had that where Spiral and I would get on and we'd be on one team and we'd be going against the AI, and it's just a lot of fun, being able to do co-op. So the fact that it has 4-player drop-in drop-out co-op, you can play on the Xbox or on Windows. It just sounds like it's going to be a blast. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't pick up Horizons 2. I do have Horizon 1 or Horizon. And I did love that open worldness of it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd never played it. I probably have 20 hours into it. But the fact that I had open world, that was a lot of fun. So looking forward to it.
It's funny you brought up PGR, because I was actually going to say that I haven't had that much fun with the first racing game I ever really played with friends was PGR, because I used to landline, or we used to do a LAN party with it, and we would get people together, and we'd have 6 people racing with teams. We have 2 on 2 on 2, and people would be blocking the other team, trying to get your team to win, because whoever finished first, it didn't matter who finished first, as long as one person from the team finished first, your team won. So it's like you're like got one guy swerving, and the other people are trying to get around him. And PGR was, I want to say, for the time, it was like the pinnacle racing game for community when it came to like playing in an arcade racing based video game, until finally somebody turned 10, rolled along with Forza, because PGR, I would say PGR was more fun with a group of people than Gran Turismo was at the time.
I think PGR 3, now I had played MSR, which was on the Dreamcast, Metropolis Street Racer, or Metropolitan Street Racer, and then PGR 1, PGR 2. PGR 3, though, for me, it just seemed like it opened up the fun aspect with, the kudos and just everything about it. The graphics were just gorgeous. Maybe PGR 3 was the first one that came out for the 360. But the multiplayer options were there, and the garages were gorgeous. You had these awesome garages. You could put all your real fancy cars in and take pictures and walk around. It was just phenomenal. I know they added motorcycles and weather effects in 4, but it just felt like something was missing in 4. Some of the fun factor, and I can't explain it, was missing. I played PGR 3. I think it's the only racing game I ever went through the entire game, like every single race. And when you get a fun game like that, it's sad when they can't follow on. Of course, PGR 4 was the last one, and then they were, I guess Activision killed that, and EA killed Burnout. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
Always kill the fun stuff.
Yeah, because I remember PGR and Halo. Those were like my LAN party games when me and my friends would get together, and we'd have the little switch with all of our wires coming into it. We would start the night with PGR, and we would end the night with CTF on Halo, and we would play what was the snow level and Combat Evolved, the Sidewinder.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah.
We would just, that and Blood Gulch, just over and over. It was just, we would just go crazy. It was so much fun. And I think sometimes the gaming industry forgets the simplicity of video games that you used to have so much fun with. I don't know, maybe you guys could maybe roll with it on me on this one, but I think a lot of multiplayer gaming was so simple back then. And you could just get your friends together and you can play, and it was simple. And sometimes I feel like they do try too hard to give you all of this and that, and look what I can walk around the car and open the hood. Yeah, that's great, but I don't really need to look at my car so much as I want it to handle properly, or I just want to have fun. Like, can we just have fun? And I think that was what Burnout was. Burnout was just pure, unadulterated fun. There was no, it wasn't taking it seriously. It wasn't putting it in your face. And even Forza, when Forza 2 and 3 were fantastic games. It was no nonsense. It was racing, multiplayer racing, and that's it. They gave you cars, tracks, and you raced. And then they started giving you all the little tidbits of, we're going to have fireworks go off, and we're going to make sure there's hot air balloons while you're racing. And now we're going to give you this gimmick, and we're going to give you the gimmick of you can, start your car in your garage. Like, I can start the car and race it too, But those little things, as cool as they are, as cool it is to stand up in front of your Kinect and move around like they tried to do with the Forza stuff that they did. I feel like they're all gimmicks. I want a game. I want simplicity, and I feel like they always. I don't know if you feel the same way. I don't know. Stop me if I'm wrong, but I think that was something that Halo 1 and 2 really nailed it. Was simplicity. It's just a straight first-person multiplayer and a great story for single player that you could bring 3 friends along and play. So it was good. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like we've lost touch with a lot of games nowadays. Developers are trying too hard to be the next progressive thing. Even Destiny, I think, started fantastic, and it's gotten progressively and now it's just become a grind. It's like I could go play World of Warcraft if I wanted to grind levels.
Well, and that's it. And that's why I put it down. I mean, we played, I think it was 2 months ago, we played it was a daily or a weekly, and I was just like, this is no fun. This is a grind. And we actually put it down and went through all of Halo 5. And when we picked it back up, we didn't do the level 40 end game stuff. We're playing the level 30, stories leading up to the Taken King, and we're having so much fun. We're getting through the levels that may have took us originally a half an hour to do in 10 minutes, but we're having so much fun, and I'm saying, Xbox, record that, because we're just having epic moments, Mm-hmm. And it's a blast because we finally get to the point where we can use our icebreakers and we can use our year one exotics and have fun and actually feel like we're accomplishing something and after taking the character from level 0 to level 30, you should feel super strong, and we do, and it's just fun. It's fun to feel like you're a BA walking through the levels, and you don't feel when you play and at least in my case, when I play the level 40 end game content, it's like a grind. And I'm just, I work at work. I don't want to work when I'm playing video games.
No, I agree with you, Gray. That's why I put down. That's why I actually traded it in some time ago, because it was one of the. I played it on PlayStation. I didn't play it on the Xbox. The only reason I played it on the PlayStation is, as much as I hate to say it, it is slightly prettier on the PlayStation, and it also had some extra content that you could get right off the bat, mm-hmm. And. But the game, it was fun. Like, I could get on. I would even play with randoms. I would get on with people I didn't even know, and it was good. It didn't matter. And then as you got higher and higher and you started doing the raids or what have you, and I was like, I feel like there's as much as there's supposed to be strategy in a game, I feel like there's way too much of it. Like, it almost seems like contrived after a while, because it's just kind of like, oh, I've got to be the guy who stands over here and shoots these things while those guys do that over there and goes open that, and then I've got to stand over here and make sure I divert the fire, and then when they're done doing that, I got to make sure I shoot this light for 20 seconds, and then it's like, this is not a fun game anymore. What happened? So I don't know. I agree with you. Like, it was almost like I got to go play something else, and then I started playing Combat Evolved, or I started playing Master Chief Collection. And I'm like, Halo. How I missed you. And I just 1 and 2 were so simple. I'm like, oh, yes, finally. I remember how much fun this was when I was in my friend's basement or in my friend's living room, or they came over to my house and we were all sitting together laughing and having a good time eating pizza. It was one of those, I don't know why it starts out really well, and then we just, I don't know. The gaming industry just likes to take you for a ride sometimes.
Try to throw too much at you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I'll leave my comments alone for Destiny. I've said my piece with that.
Is that an up or a down?
That's a down.
Yeah, as a
started up and then it just fell really hard.
Now you mostly played Crucible, right? You were mostly a Crucible player.
Yeah, mostly Crucible. Yeah, I played the single player every once in a while when I saw you guys online. I'd jump on with you guys. Right, I think a couple weeks ago I had mentioned I had finally finished the story. And before that, the last time I actually played it was with you, Gray, when we had gone through a few levels. And I didn't realize we were like right near the end. I basically had one level I have to go, and I was done. So I finished that off really quick. But yeah, I mean, I really love the game. I really love the Crucible. The controls are just awesome. It's Bungie. They make gameplay mechanics are always pretty spot on. But once the I think it was the Taken thing that came out, and they kind of just stripped stuff away from you. It was just like, what's this? And they didn't mention it, and it just kind of sucked. So it just kind of drew the breath out of me, so to speak. So
we're in the same boat. I'm with you.
Yeah, maybe Destiny 2 when it comes out. I might try to jump back in, but who knows, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get Destiny 2. I enjoy the game. I was one of those guys who lost his Dark Below and House of Wolves content. They did not say I was subscribing to a limited time. This was supposed to be an expansion I have forever. So hopefully they'll word it better in the future if they're gonna do that. But I will be buying Destiny 2 on launch day. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show just by talking about what's on your buy list. For me, I still have some games I really don't feel like I've put a lot of time into, like Battlefront. I love that game. It looks gorgeous. Solo and I have played, and Prime, I think you played with us too, didn't you? Or did you not have it?
I just got it recently, so within the last month or so. But I definitely want to jump into it more than I have.
I had a lot of fun solo. I think when we played before the first of the year, I was really enjoying that game. I just thought it was gorgeous. But as far as games I'm looking forward to, besides Horizon 3, I think that's the only must buy right now. I mean, Call of Duty looks great. Battlefield looks great. Titanfall looks great. But I think right now I'm going to stay with Horizon 3 and see maybe fit one of those other games in this fall. What about you, Prime? What's your next game going to be? Do you know?
It'll probably be Titanfall 2 when it comes out. I definitely want to buy that one. Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare. I'll definitely buy that. I'd buy all the Call of Duties. I'm just a Call of Duty guy. That's my go-to game when I just want to relax and just shoot somebody in the face, so to speak. As I saw, online, it's the legal way to shoot somebody. So that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, probably those two. Battlefield, it does look interesting from what I've seen so far. I wasn't too sure about it at first, but I really like what I've seen. So and the gameplay-wise, they've actually released some stuff. So it looks interesting. I might wait a little bit, maybe a month or two or whatever before I get that, just to kind of see the reaction from you guys. I know there's a bunch of big Battlefield guys on the CAG site, so see how they like it, and I'll probably jump into it. I know World Voyager, he's a big Battlefield guy, and DB, they used to play almost like weekly, basically. So, but yeah, probably, but for sure, the new Call of Duty and Titanfall 2.
How about you, Solo?
Did you have any other ones, or are you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was a big fan of Injustice, so I'm going to get Injustice 2. I actually was, because as I said earlier, I'm a big comic book fan, especially DC. So I will probably be getting Injustice 2. That is a go-to. This fall, it doesn't come out this fall, but I'm looking forward to the Tom Clancy game that comes out next year, even though that's well past. But that doesn't count because I'm thinking about the fall. Halo Wars 2 is a game that I really, really want, but I think they pushed it back, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was going to come out this fall, but I think they might have moved it back.
Yeah, I think they did.
And that's disappointing. So Forza Horizon 2 or 3 right now. is pretty much my only one. I think other than that, I was looking at Battlefield, but I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm going to wait and see what people say, because as much as it looks amazing, I don't know. I have a lot of other, like Gray was saying, I have a lot of other games that I'm going to be playing. I'm going to do the same thing with Watch Dogs. I was going to pick up Watch Dogs 2.
Oh yeah,
But
I forgot about that. Yeah.
the more and more I see things on it, I do the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see, because I mean, I have Grand Theft Auto, and not saying that I mean, they are two completely different kind of styles of game. But I did have the first one, and it got boring after a while.
Oh,
So
so did you finish it?
Nope, didn't
No.
finish it. I got about 2/3 through it, and then I was like, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I mean, there's a lot of great games that I see coming out. I mean, Gears of War 4 is coming out, Mafia is coming out. I mean, there's some really interesting games that are. I just don't. I think Forza Horizon 3 is the biggest one on my list, because I really don't know what the developer's going to do with all the other ones. As much as E3 was an amazing thing, and they really at the Xbox press conference, they really put a lot out there for you to want and actually buy this fall. I'm not. I don't. I'm going to wait for reviews on a lot of them, because I mean, Battlefield 4 was amazing, but I didn't really get into that until a little while after either, because I was worried about it being, I don't know. Even when I did get into it sometime after, the game kind of felt like it was very spawn killy. It was kind of difficult to get anywhere, get ahead. You know, it's a typical EA first-person shooter. Sometimes you can really feel like I spawn and die, spawn and die, and spawn, and now I'm going to run and then die. And so I'm with Gray. Battlefront, though, is an amazing game. You do spawn and die sometimes, but overall, it's actually a lot of fun, and I actually do remember playing it the first couple rounds of ever actually playing it. Gray, I was playing with you, and I think one of the best parts about it that make me always want to come back to it was we were playing on the planet with all the lava all over the place, and we were down inside of a tunnel, and there was a door closed at the end of the tunnel, and I crouched down next to the wall, and I was on the rebel side, and there were like 3 other rebels lined up against the wall, and the door swung open, and there were a bunch of stormtroopers came through it. We just started blasting at each other, and I'm like, it's like I'm in the movie! So it got me really excited, and then we played the flying, the ships, and that was it. I'm like, oh, the squadron stuff is really fun. And then supposedly when the Death Star expansion comes out, you're going to actually do outer space squadron fights. So
nice.
I am really excited. So when the Death Star thing finally comes out, I can't wait to fight on the Death Star, because again, it's like reliving that whole end in the movie moment. Endor is the same way, but you never want to be on the Empire when you're on Endor, because they stick out like sore thumbs. But the game is fun, and if you did just get it, if you do see me online, please, I really like that. Is a fun game. So
Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind.
when it comes to buying things in fall, I am pretty much just going to go with Forza for now until I see some reviews.
Do you guys both have the season pass for Battlefront?
I do.
No.
So, yeah, I do.
I didn't get it yet, but I'll probably pick it up eventually.
I did, just because every time they come out with an expansion, it's increased the gameplay. Like when the game first came out, you were kind of like, eeh. But really, the expansions have really pushed it to where now it's actually a game that has a lot of content to it. So, no, it's good. I enjoy all the expansions. They've done a really nice job.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of held off at first of getting it, just because it seemed kind of lacking in some areas. So.
The only thing I don't know if did you play the original Battlefronts by chance? 1 and 2 back.
I think I played a little bit of 2 back in the day.
That's the only thing I kind of hope that they do is either they come out with another one, or they expand the game to the point where they throw in the original episodes 1, 2, and 3, because right now it's just the 4, 5, and 6. So as much fun as those are, I really wouldn't mind running around as a clone trooper or
Yeah.
what have you. So
A battle droid.
right, yeah. Well, they did. They had the little droidegas, and they were it was fun. I remember those. And the tanks. The tanks were really cool. Sorry, I digress.
You're nerdy not. It's all right.
I wish it had 4-player co-op. The co-op is
I
so
agree.
much fun.
The 2-player co-op is really good. I agree with you. But if you had 2 more people, I'm with you, Gray. Sorry.
Halo Wars, by the way, is coming out February next year.
I know. Why? Why'd you do that?
Kind of kills their big game for the holiday too, I guess. But
I know. Yeah, that was really
so much coming out. There's so much coming out. I mean, we got Titanfall, we got Battlefield, we got Call of Duty, we got. But I mean, I don't know that there's enough room in the holiday season for everything that was announced that's coming out. So
yeah, it might be better for that game too because it's an RTS, so it's not a super popular genre for the masses mostly, but it'll probably do better in February. And,
I think it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. Yeah.
I wish they would have waited for Titanfall for that too, but they want to release it in the fall, so like 2 weeks after or before Battlefield, which I still don't understand.
I've heard a lot of people complaining about Call of Duty, but it looks like the most interesting Call of Duty in a long time to me. I mean, especially that you're going to be able to do some flying around in a jet in outer space, and maybe do some dogfights, and then get out of your jet and then go tackle people in 0G. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it looks great. Hey, I want to just before we wrap up, I want to talk about a mistake I made 2 episodes ago, and I want to thank my good buddy Lance for telling us about it. I had and I was kind of cognizant after the show, and I went back and looked and found I was wrong. I had said that Game Informer had given the Xbox press conference at E3 a C or a C minus. It was actually a C plus. Still horrible.
Still not good enough in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought they had a great press conference. I'd give them an A minus, but anyways, I did want to correct that because I make several mistakes every show, but that one somebody caught. So thank you, Lance. Go Patriots. Lance is a huge Patriots fan, so go Patriots. And he hates the Patriots. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Hey, on behalf of SoloRacerX, Osiris Prime, and myself, Greylock3491, I want to thank you for watching or listening if you're on iTunes. And until next time, peace.